Hello there, welcome to today's video. This is my review on the movie Barbie that has been going on. It's been doing really well in the box office. A lot of people have gone to see it. My wife wanted to see it, so I went and saw it with her. I was a little apprehensive about it because different folks like Ben Shapiro were saying how it was such a terrible movie. And what got me more okay with it, my wife said she heard a lot of good reviews, and then also Brett Cooper, that works with Ben Shapiro, said that she thought it was a fun movie. So I went to it with an open mind. It's about a Barbie. If you don't know, Barbie's a little doll that a lot of people play with or used to play with, or, it's been around for a while. And so there's a lot of different kinds of Barbies. And that's kind of the premise of the movie. They're in Barbie land. So we'll jump right into it. I was unsure if I wanted to do this review or not because my opinions are not going to be very mainstream, and I was slightly afraid of getting canceled, not necessarily on the YouTube channel, but more like getting in trouble at work for sharing my opinions, because that's the world that we live in now. If you have an unpopular opinion, especially in the U.S., it can really cause issues for you with your job. So I am going to try to be tactful with how I word things, but also I want to be honest and open and share with you my opinions of the movie. So we'll start with more of the simpler things, and then we'll get into the deeper things here. So it started off okay, it was introducing Barbie. There was a little Barbie theme song at the beginning or what have you. And, there was some funny humor in there. It wasn't really that bad. It seemed like, oh, okay, this could be entertaining. That's another thing. When I go to the movies, I'm going there to be entertained. That's my purpose. I'm not going there to learn a lesson. I don't want to be preached at. I don't need you to give me your biased opinion about certain topics. That's just not why I'm there. Now, there are some things, like, for example, we've been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, my wife and I. It's a TV show, and there are some things in certain episodes which definitely are biased opinions. For example, the chief of police for the Nine-Nine in Brooklyn Nine-Nine is gay, and so there are some different things of that opinions supporting LGBTQ that's kind of pushed out there, but it's not like over the top. Barbie, on the other hand, is very much over the top, very much talking about how hard it is to be a woman, how it's awful being a woman, how men are evil, and just, yeah. So the plot was hard to follow to start with. It was just kind of random. It felt like in a lot of parts. It started off, with some spoilers here, but it started off with Barbie having thoughts of death and didn't know why she was having, so she had to go ask this weird Barbie. I think she was actually called a weird Barbie, or she was like a Barbie outcast or whatever. And she told her that she had to go in the real world and find her owner and sort it out from there and make her happy or what have you. So, it was, there was a storyline. There were some cool actors in it. Will Ferrell was in it. And I expected Will Ferrell to, have kind of a dumb character per se or persona, because Will Ferrell typically plays kind of funny, silly, but, dumb characters. What I didn't expect and didn't really appreciate in this movie is literally every male character. And I'm not just saying the Barbies, because, it makes sense. A Barbie's dumb. It's a toy, right? But every male character in it was portrayed to be stupid and heartless, just anything bad that you can think of, and the male characters were it. It talked about how the men rule the world in the real world, how the Barbies rule the world in the Barbie world. And Ken, he went to the real world and saw men were in charge and decided to take it back to Barbie land and took over the Barbie land in like a day and made it, Ken world kind of thing. But that was, that was terrible. My thing, like I said, I'm trying not to get canceled, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful, but I also want to be real with you all. So I don't mind, the feminist movement, women empowerment, women can do everything a man can do, that kind of thing. Like, I don't mind that so much. What I do mind, though, is when you have to boost up women by tearing down men and making men seem stupid and pointless. You have to see the movie to understand exactly what I'm saying, but it felt like every other line, especially towards the halfway point and further in, every other line was just trying to push a message out. And the message was, women are great, women are all powerful, women don't need man. I don't know. It just wasn't for me. I don't like movies that are trying to tell me what to think. I don't mind movies that make me think. But as far as telling me the way I should think, I don't like that. Definitely is not a movie for men, which it doesn't have to be, but I just don't understand why it has to tear down. There's no good man in the movie. Like, it's just all the men are evil. Like, the businessmen that own Barbie, they were all bad, and they were all men, and they were all stupid. No women were in power. It was just the men, and they were stupid and wanted to put Barbie back in a box. And I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if my ramblings are making sense or not, but it was a terrible movie. It was a waste of time. It pushed a message that I don't agree with. That men are stupid, men are pointless, women don't need men. I'm big on, for example, getting married. Like, it's a two-person thing. Like, you join together, and you both bring something to the table. It might be different depending on the relationship you're in, but you're both important people. Like, we're all humans. We're all important, male or female. And this movie was really just really trying to tell about how terrible men are. And I just don't like that, because I disagree with it. I don't think men are this awful people. There are awful men, but there's also awful women out there. And I just don't think that you need to tear down one party to build up another party. I don't think that's a good way of doing it. And people like me, when you see something like that, it just makes you care less about the women movement. You know what I mean? Like, in this case, the feminine movement or what have you. It makes me be more jaded towards it and more like, don't even want to hear it. Like, I don't care what you have to say because of stuff like this, where it's just tearing down the man, because you don't need to do that. Women have the right to vote. Women, there's women in power. I used to have a captain that was, multiple captains that were women at different jails I worked at. There's just a lot of, there are women in power. There's just a lot of good things in today's day and age, and instead of focusing on the good, focus on some, in my opinion, made up things about how it's terrible. I don't know. I'm not a woman, so I don't know. Maybe it is a terrible thing to be born a woman. Maybe that is so awful, but I don't know. What I do know is being a man does not mean you're evil, does not mean you're this terrible, stupid person, doesn't mean you want to rule the world, doesn't mean you control everything. It just, there are good things about being a man. I know that for sure. So, part of it probably is my belief system as far as Christianity goes, the way I believe, but also my more conservative mindset. I'm definitely more aligned conservatively than other ways. And so I also didn't really think we needed to have a transgender Barbie in there either. I won't go further into that because I know YouTube will definitely block me or what have you, but I just don't think any of that was necessary. And this movie was terrible. The movie was there to tell a message, to tell women that they're awesome and men are terrible, and it made its point. So, if you're a man, highly do not recommend going to see this movie. You might be asking yourself, well, why would we go see a movie named Barbie anyways? I used to play with Barbies as a kid. I had 3 sisters. Maybe that makes me seem really stupid or messed up in the head, but I don't mind Barbies, but I don't like agendas being shoved down my throat, which is all this movie was. And the plot was hard to follow, like I said earlier. It didn't really have a lot of good things to it. There were a couple funny lines. Definitely wasn't a kids movie. Though some of the lines would definitely go over kids' heads. Like near the beginning when I thought, oh, maybe this movie will be okay, just kind of entertaining. There were Kens threatening to beat each other off. I'm sorry, beach, not beat. But obviously that was kind of adult humor. So I mean, there were parts of that were, I was like, oh, okay, maybe this is just fun for entertainment kind of thing. But no, this had a hidden or not so hidden agenda. It was definitely one of those movies where the agenda was more important than the actual movie. Like they didn't care about entertaining you; they cared about sending a message and telling you how to think. It's kind of like the media nowadays. All media, Fox News, CNN, all of the medias, they really just want to tell you what their agenda is. Well, they don't tell you outright what their agenda is, but they tell you how to think. They only share different news stories that pushes their own agenda. Like I said, this is including Fox News, so it's not just liberal media or conservative media that do this. It's all media, and they just shove it down your throat. So terrible movie. Would not recommend seeing it. I would score it nothing. 0 out of 5, 0 out of 10, 0 out of everything. It was a waste of time. 2 hours of awfulness. And I would not go see this movie. I would not see this movie when it's out streaming. It was just an agenda being pushed down my throat, and that's it. And that kind of makes me upset. I don't know. I'm going to go see Haunted Mansion here coming up next week, so hopefully that will be better. Definitely looks better. I mean, it's a Disney movie, so who knows, but I am going to go see that. So hopefully you guys aren't offended by my comments. That definitely wasn't my point. Was not here to offend anyone, but I do want to be real with you all and give my honest opinions about stuff. I don't want to hide my opinions just because of the chance I could get canceled. And like I said, I'm not really worried about the YouTube channel getting canceled. I mean, that would suck, but it is what it is. It's more I don't want a company that disagrees with my beliefs to fire me due to making a video like this. So that's why I'm trying to be more careful with how I word things. So anyways, I will see you all later. We got Game of Thrones coming out Thursday, and then obviously RuneScape content as well. So hope everybody's doing well. Have a good rest of your day, and don't watch Barbie. Bye.